All right. You were telling me about your pet peeves.
Right. I'm trying to, manage my stress. And I get stressed out about really important things. And, one of my pet peeves that I think is really a problem is when you're watching chess
As one does.
on a TV show or a movie.
Yes.
My pet peeve is not the chess. It's the whole encounter of the chess match. It only lasts a little bit. It always lasts 3 moves. And you always have a guy, usually a guy.
Click.
A guy and an underdog.
Click.
And you're assuming that the guy, usually portrayed by a white male, and he's
Except in Queen's Gambit. Anyway, go on.
He is all powerful, and he knows how to play chess because he's been playing chess all the time.
Which
Then
means he's a psychopath.
Then he plays against an underdog in a movie or a TV show, and the dominant man, the underdog moves their piece, and then the dominant male person moves the next piece and goes check.
Sure.
What happens on the 3rd move? And it's always only 3 moves. The underdog, sometimes played by a female or a young child, playing against what apparently is their father.
Never been harder to be a white man.
Underdog
Nowadays.
moves. Dominant white man moves. Check. And then the next move, the underdog moves the piece, usually a pawn, and goes checkmate. That's how it happens in every single movie and TV show that has chess in it.
And it's never any of the gambits that you know. Because they're just moving pieces.
Right,
and
right.
they don't
Because
show.
the angle of the camera is not such
So
that you can
why
look
is
down.
this a pet peeve of yours?
It's just not very creative. Everybody's riffing off the same punchline that the dominant person
It's
is doing.
creating artificial tension. Well, tension.
It's not creative. It's the same thing. This has been going on. I remember the other day, I was watching
D.W. Griffith had a chess match? And
yes, during Birth of a Nation, they had a chess
Let's
scene.
stop all the looting and lynching. Let's play some chess.
Right. They had
Checkmate.
They had the
The guy in
white
blackface.
sheets versus the...
Guy in a blackface is going, checkmate. That's probably...
No. Yeah. Well, see,
I'm thinking D.W. Griffith would
They
not
would
be
be the
black.
underdog.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, they were very much the underdog. So you were saying, okay, so
So my pet peeve is that they don't get creative with the chess in the movies. They have 2.5 hours to tell you this story, but they only have time for 45 seconds for 3 moves in a chess match.
it's because it's shorthand. It's like there are things that people use shorthand in movies and in television. And shorthand for we're smart is chess. Sometimes they throw in a British accent too. Because, we Americans are like, oh my goodness, that's a British accent. Little do we know, it's like, oh, that's the East End. And they're like totally lower class perhaps.
And Checkers is exactly the same thing.
But it's like, but yes, we hear a British accent, even if it's someone that's from a lower class part of Britain, we think, oh my God, I need to pay attention to this.
Checkers is exactly the same thing. The underdog moves, and then the dominant male jumps, and then takes that piece and puts it off, and then what does the underdog do? Boom, 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 boom. King me. That's the way it works in every movie and TV show.
You know why? Americans don't know how to play chess. So they know 2 things in chess. Check and checkmate.
Ah, yes.
And they know something about a king. Vaguely.
Right.
We're not bright. But that's your peeve. That's in your peeve list. The lack of creativity in chess is high on your list. Well, yeah, that sounds like a real.
What about you? Got any pet peeves? Yarn planets?
People speaking about how their pet peeve is chess.
Yeah,
One of them.
That pisses me off, man.
Ooh, that grinds my gears. Pet peeves. I don't like orange food, particularly.
Wait a minute. You don't like oranges?
Oh, I like oranges. I just don't like anything else that's orange. Your squashes, your yams, your pumpkins. Just not a fan of pumpkin pie. Not my jam.
So orange marmalade would not be your jam either?
Yeah. I wouldn't open with it. So marmalade, not a fan in general. I feel like
What is not to like about marmalade? Other
Isn't
than
it
the high
kind of
cost.
bitter?
It's very expensive.
Call me sold. It's expensive. I don't need gelatinous expensive products.
Okay.
Isn't marmalade, doesn't it have chunks of things in it sometimes?
Yeah, it's a thicker
But it's
type
not
of
like jelly, but it's not
thicker,
like
and it
jam.
also has
Is it
marmalade
sweet?
actually has, I think, some brown sugar in it too. Something southern that gives it that marmalade-y kind of thing.
I feel like the times that I've had marmalade, it was not sweet. And it was orange, so it was already out.
So what you're saying is Paddington the bear is full of shit.
Yikes. I like Paddington.
So do I. Paddington always ate marmalade.
Did he?
Yes. You're a liar. You never read one Paddington book.
Okay, so I confess. I was reading the Moomins. I wasn't reading Paddington.
Do you know who Robert Klein is?
Yeah, the comedian?
Yeah.
Of course.
He used to voice the Paddington animated series. And it wasn't animated in the sense that, you know how it wasn't nearly as animated as even South Park is. You know, with the little shapes and the color forms.
It was worse than their first.
To give Paddington's expression, they would move his hat about 1/8 of an inch.
And it was Robert Klein.
Yeah, he did the voice of Paddington the bear.
Well, that's fair. Not a Paddington. Okay, I lied. I don't.
All right,
I don't
okay.
know Paddington.
So, but what about orange Jello?
Oh God, Jello's even worse. So what I don't understand is how is that animal hoof? How do they make animal hoof into all of these fanciful colors? Like there's there's all these different colors of Jello, but there's really only one color of hoof, and it's dirt colored. So how do they turn hoof into gelatin, which then is playful and moving in your refrigerator?
Jello
Yes.
is hoof?
I think Jello isn't it gelatin, and gelatin.
Are you confusing gelatin with glue?
No, I think gelatin is also hoof, bud.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna turn people off. Yeah, when you tell people, oh, by the way, you're eating hoof.
Oh yeah, I bet you a lot of
but
fun.
it's so shaky.
I bet
It's
you a
like
lot
yes,
of
it's
fun
shaky hoof.
at Jello parties. You know, you're rolling around in horse hoof.
Yeah, you know, it's not the most flavorful thing. No, I'm not a fan of Jello.
You're not a fan of orange food.
I'm not a fan of orange food, and I'm not a fan of Jello. Doesn't rise to the peeve level of your chest issue, but yes, I'm not a super fan of Jello. It wiggles a little bit too much for my taste. I like my food sedentary, because then it doesn't feel like it's alive.
What about Bill Cosby as a spokesperson for Jello pudding?
Oh, he was perfect. I hate Jello, and I don't like him. So
No, wait a minute. Is it because you don't like him now? You liked him before.
I did not like him.
You didn't like Bill Cosby even
The
before
only
you
thing I
were
liked
a
about the Bill
little
Cosby show was Lisa Bonet was kind of cute, and she was only a couple years older.
kind of cute. She is super hot.
Yeah, and Angel.
Ever see Angel Heart? Oh man.
That was problematic though.
The only problem with that movie was the Louis Cypher.
It was
It
kind
was a
of
little too obvious right there, right?
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Sex and there's blood coming from the ceiling.
What?
Let me rewind that.
Sort of feels like my first experience. Sort of feels like my first experience. There was a lot of things falling from the ceiling. There was blood. There was crying. It was
And then
for me mostly.
A Louisiana detective comes in and tells you just committed murder.
Yes.
That's back when Mickey Rourke was the actor.
He was.
man.
Yeah, there was a period of time where him and Val Kilmer were knocking it down, bud.
Oh, that's
And then
right.
somehow they fell by the wayside, and then Tom Cruise became ascendant.
Fell by the wayside, more like fell into the plastic surgeon's office and went into a diabetic coma for 6 years.
I think it was because he was boxing.
No.
No,
I
I'm
know
sure.
he was boxing, but
Yeah, boxing.
I
don't
he
know
had
if you know
4
about
matches,
this.
man. Give me a break.
I don't know if you know about this, but boxing hurts your face.
Yeah. He didn't.
Mostly-
box long enough.
Mostly hurts your face.
You know, was he preparing for his role in The Wrestler 25 years? Or have you seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
I have not seen the rest of it.
It's good. It's got Marisa Tomei.
I like Mr. Mato. You know, after she won that award, they slept on her talent. They just said, you've gotten an Oscar.
How do you
We're
know
done
it was
with it."
they? Maybe she just decided, I didn't realize it was this easy.
Oh, jeez.
I just gotta be the sidekick to Joe Pesci in a movie and I get awards.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Yeah, she was great in that, but yeah, she didn't see her very much. It was like Deborah Winger.
The great thing about her is that they brought her back as Aunt May, and Robert Downey Jr. could hit on her as Tony Stark.
Yes. I don't know if I like a young Aunt May. That feels.
You haven't seen?
No, I've seen it.
Okay.
Of course, they would revoke my Spider-Man fan card. Spider-Man's my dude.
And then they got both Happy and Tony Stark hitting on her, and that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, Marisa Tomei, keeping it tight. I hope that's not sexist, is it?
No.
Does it say someone's attractive?
No, it's Creedist.
Creedist? Like the band Creed?
No,
who I can't stand.
No, like the,
Are they going through
like
a
the guy who
revival?
fought Rocky.
Oh yeah. Are they going through a revival, Creed?
Creed?
Yeah, I think so, bud.
Oh,
I think
okay,
they're
that makes
becoming.
sense.
All you got to do is wait 10, 15, 20 years, and all of a sudden you're huge. Even if people hated you at the time.
Right. It's
Creed,
because the
Nickelback.
person who liked them
I mean,
when
Nickelback, they
were
caught a lot of
12
crap,
to
but-
17 years old now has disposable income and now can afford to go to these revival shows. Those guys need the money. I mean, Scott.
You don't think Creed's making he socked away a bunch of that?
They couldn't.
Arms wide open.
Because as soon as
Was
that
it
album
eyes
hit,
wide open or
no, I
arms?
think it's arms because he's like
Oh
this.
yeah, he's doing the I'm.
But then he left. He left the band that was essentially him, and then
Yeah,
and they
who
both
else was
left.
in Creed? I mean, he's the only dude I know.
I think
It
those
could have
guys-
been session players for all I know.
No,
Sorry,
I
Creed,
think they formed
but
that
Breed,
no they
Crunk,
cred.
Cred. They were Cred. They got rid of the knee. Creed. Maybe
I think
that's
the Creed guys formed another band that's really good. It's got some good stuff. Is it Alter Bridge? I think that's what Creed became, is Alter Bridge. Don't close your eyes. Great song.
That sounds terrible. Maybe it's just the way you were singing.
No, it's the echo in here.
Yes, it's the garage.
That's another one of my
Yes,
pet peeves.
that's right.
Like a really shitty echo.
It's the garage is acoustics. It's not your voice. Heaven forbid. If we just get you in front of Madison Square Garden, it'll be fine. Eyes wide open. I mean arms. Oh well.
Yeah, they were gonna do that for the Nicole Kidman Tom Cruise movie,
Yikes.
Eyes Wide Shut, but they thought that American audiences would be too confused. It would be more confusing than a University of Maryland football helmet.
Still not working.
With eyes wide open.